Yo, what's up, good folks? This your man Chris Thorns coming to you with another news story. So, hey, without further ado, let's get right into it. What's going on, everybody? I'm your man Chris Thorns. As always, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whether you're watching my content. And as always, like, comment, subscribe, and share. Ladies and gentlemen, hey, wow, this is a crazy one. We have a prank that went wrong. And I think this is in Georgia. I could be wrong, but I think it's in Georgia. 12-year-old boy went to a sleepover. A couple of his compadres, his friends, tried to play the prank on him, and it ended badly. It ended real badly. I'm gonna let y'all hear what's going on, and we're gonna get into it.
Is in Tifton is recovering from severe burns after police say 3 of his friends dumped scalding water on him. Those 12 to 15-year-old boys all face serious charges now.
Well, as WALB News 10's Mackenzie Blaze reports, what boys say was supposed to be a prank turned into life-changing incidents for all of them.
12-year-old boy has second-degree burns on most of his face. His mother asked that we hide his identity, but she wanted to talk with us about what happened to her son.
I mean, I really can't describe it now, but in that moment, I was just in shock, mad, hurt, everything, seeing red, trying to just hurry up and get to, him some help, yeah.
Tiffany West says her son was in a neighbor's apartment after a sleepover with other kids playing video games. The victim's mother says he was asleep when someone threw the hot water on him.
Yes, he was transported to the burn center in Augusta, Georgia, and he had to have surgery. Of course, he's out of surgery and he's home now, but it's going to take 12 to 14 days for him to fully heal. I always ask him, I always ask him, you mad? You sad? He just be like, no, he just don't have no emotion about it.
He numb about it. I know he like you got to be in shock to know that your friends is capable of this type of thing. Like somebody that you trusted, like he never thought that this would be like happening to him.
The victim's family is desperately seeking justice. Between recovery and paying the bills, they know they have a very long road ahead of them.
My brother and Tiffany has been out of work since this happened and traveling, and now she's still gonna be out of work until he heals, because she got to be here for him mentally. Also, he gonna have to be like getting counseling and stuff, because he gonna have to be able to trust people again.
According to the victim's family, the other 3 boys have been released back to their families and are currently awaiting their hearing, which will take place in a month or so. Here in Tifton, I'm Mackenzie Blaze with WALB, your hometown news source.
If you're all right, guys, so you heard that, and wow. First thing first, what I want to say is a good thing that the young fella didn't die. I wish him a speedy recovery from all of this. But on this channel right here, especially for the people who may be coming from Newsbreak that's going to watch this or whatnot, because I know a lot of y'all from Newsbreak come over here and see the videos and whatnot, and y'all be coming here showing your boys some love. One thing I noticed, they said they was asking him, are you mad, you sad, or what? And he says he's not either or. They goes to say that, you got to be shocked because these your friends that did that or whatnot. Now, here's what I want to say to that part specifically. The reason why he probably feel no emotion about it, it's just an opinion. I could be wrong. The reason he probably don't feel anything about it because maybe he has played pranks on them, and everybody got a hee ha ha. Whoever he played a prank on, was upset. But of course, they children, so they eventually get over it. So he probably looking at, hey, I played a prank on them, they just got me back. Hey, he probably got the mindset, hey, they probably didn't mean to do it. We all pranked each other, whatnot, That's one way he could be looking at it. Another way he could be looking at it is, he just really not fazed by it. He's probably one of them types that see the better in people, regardless of what they do, which I believe young kids do that as well. He probably see the better in them and just be like, hey, this is a mistake. I'm going to get over this, so I'm not going to be mad, angry at them at all, And third, maybe it's this. When y'all asked him that, maybe he could be possibly feel like, so y'all might try to push him in that direction to feel some type of way about them. Again, these just my opinion. This is just speculation. I could be wrong on all three. It would have to be him that will come out and say, this is why I don't feel no particular way about what happened to me, So it'd be up to him. But them just some things I just thought about, Again, I could be wrong on all of it. I could be wrong. All right. Get into the nitty-gritty. This is why I preach a lot on this channel. When it comes to these sleepovers and stuff like that, get to know the folks. Get to know them well. Not only get to know them, get to know the behavior of their children. Because you might learn a thing or two. All right? And I'm not saying these ladies didn't know him, but I do question how well did you know him for him to be able to at a sleepover. All right? And I also want to ask, when this is not the first sleepover, has he had problems before spending the night with them or whatever the case may have been? Okay? Your child may act a certain way, but does not mean that other people's children act the same way. We in 2025 now. I have seen some disrespectful ass children. And the crazy thing about it seems like the parents, with the mothers, a lot of mothers rather, does nothing to rectify the behavior. They let it goes on. As it's just some kind of clown show or something. They let it go on. All right? Like they always say, the behavior is learned at home. This is why another thing I say that I don't believe these teenagers need none of these phones, none of these smartphones. They don't need no social media accounts. They don't need no TikTok. They don't need no Facebook. They don't need no Instagram. They don't need none of that shit because of shit like this. TikTok is one of the main ones that do these dumbass jokes and practices and whatnot, which either left a lot of people dead or like your son in the hospital. They get on TikTok and somebody start these dumbass trends. And what these people would do is see these dumbass trends and start doing them at home. Not understanding what's the consequences if they trying this. Okay? See, in their mind, it's just a joke because they saw it on video. They thought it was Kiki and Kaka. But do you really pay attention whom you hurting when you play this joke on? Now, I'm not saying anything wrong with playing jokes, but you have to understand what joke are you playing. Now, common sense would tell anybody, hell, probably even a 10-year-old, throwing scalding hot water on somebody, that's not going to be pretty. It's not. That's just common sense. So I don't know why would any of these youngins who participated in that would ever think that nothing serious is going to happen and everybody's going to get a laugh out of it. Or we can say this right here. Could it be a hidden agenda? A hidden agenda. Meaning, could it be a possibility that them cats really don't like your son? They probably don't like him. And find the opportunity to get him for whatever reason they probably don't like him. Again, guys, it's all the speculation. I don't know for sure what's going on here. I guess what you call a critical thinker. I don't know if you call it critical thinking or not. But I try to look at all crevices and cracks when it comes to a story like this. Could it be a possibility they did this because they really didn't like him? Or he made one of them mad and one of them, you know what I'm saying, say, hey, first chance we get, we gonna get him. And they got him. You know? It may be hard for me to say that, but you just gotta look at the reality of things. All right? See, when I was growing up, I made this baby. A lot of parents in my time didn't really do all this spending the night stuff. Especially if they didn't know the parents of the home. we didn't really do a lot of spending the night at people's houses. All right? Even if they did know them somewhere, they still just do a lot of it. We did it from time to time. But it wasn't no every time that you wanted to do it because they'll be like, hey, you already been over there last weekend, man. You're not going over there this weekend again. Because, the one thing they always say to me was, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you who are listening, don't wear out your welcome. So that's why they didn't let us keep doing it every time we wanted to do it, because that right there, don't wear out your welcome. And I guess because another reason is that one time they going to let us go over there and something fucked up like this would happen. So back then in my days, you was not going to nobody's house unless the folks met them and the folks felt comfortable enough to let me spend the night at their house and vice versa. It just won't really happen like that around in my time. At least not with me, it wasn't. But in this era, I mean, a lot of these folks just let their children do whatever they want to do. A lot of these people let pacify their children because they don't want the children to get mad at them, so they let them do what they want to do. Hell, a lot of them, know what I'm saying, just want to get rid of the children, period, because they want to do what they want to do, being selfish. And again, I'm not saying this lady and her son, I'm not saying this is what she was doing. I'm speaking in general terms. We have to wake up and understand and realize who we're letting our children around, who we're letting our son around, who we're letting our daughter around. Which I always stress, hey, it's not a cool idea to be letting folks run in and out your house when you got young ones in the house, especially when you got young girls. It's never a good idea to be having folks run in and out the house because you just never know what these folks are looking at. You think they're there for you, but they're really there to attack your young ones. They're really there for that, and I think that's sickening. All right? And here we are in 2025. Hey, everything already going haywire. And I'm sorry, I know I probably sound like I'm all over the place, but when I look at stuff like that, I always get a flashback when I grew up. I get a flashback in my childhood, and little stupid stuff that we did. Lucky for us, we didn't do nothing that stupid for one of us to get hurt. At least nothing like this we didn't do. And our folks was kind of strict on who they let us around and who house they let us spend the night at, because they just was trying their best to avoid the inevitable. And they did a good job with doing it, okay? But again, I pray for this young fella. Hope for a speedy recovery for him and them other guys who did this to him. Hopefully they learned their lesson. And they'll think twice before they pull another prank on somebody of that magnitude. All right? And again, this coming out of Georgia. I was right. Tifton, Georgia. A 12-year-old boy from Tifton is recovering from severe burns, and the police say 3 of his friends dumped scalding water on him, according to the boys. This was supposed to be a prank. Now, all 3 of the boys, ages 12 through 15, are facing charges. Facing serious. I'm sorry, these notifications throwing me off. Hold on. Sorry, they throwing me off. They are facing serious charges. The boy now has second-degree burns on most of his face. His mother wants to keep his identity hidden, but still wants to share his story. She goes on, says she can't describe it. The mama named Tiffany West, I'm going to see if I can reach out to her, if I can find who she is, says her son was in a neighbor's apartment after a sleepover with other kids playing video games. The victim's mother says he was asleep when one of the boys threw hot water on him. And of course, they say he was transported to the burn center and all that stuff, And her brother and her had been out of work since this happened or whatnot. Just sad, but that's sad, man. Yeah, again, man, take the devices away from the children. They don't need it. Get them a cheap-ass flip phone. That's all they need. Text and call. That's all they need. Any phone that got anything to do with the internet, they got the Instagram and TikTok and all that shit on them, get it away from them. Because that's where a lot of shit stemming from. Guaranteed you, they probably saw something on the internet and felt like it was cool to play this prank, not thinking what the consequences going to happen when they did that to that young fella. All right? Young as 12 years old. As young as 12 years old. 12 to 15. Wow. Anyway, guys, again, sorry if I'm sounding like I'm all over the place. I'm sorry, but this stuff just really get depressing a lot of time trying to do these stories. I'm your man, Chris Thorns. As always, let me know what y'all think about this, and I will see y'all next time. Thank you for listening.